who's healthy herself. Nancy.
Healthy and happy and all that stuff. Well, the weather this past November would seem to indicate that El Niño's impact on our winter will be slight. And that's good news. Segment producer Dave White found some people in the Adirondacks who are preparing for another big snowmobiling season. At least that's what they're hoping.
Hoping and expecting this November rain to turn to snow, and the snow will turn this trail on Brown's Track north of 8th Lake into a main thoroughfare for snowmobiles. And it's the snowmobiles hitting these trails that keeps the small business people going between the leaf peepers in the fall and the hikers, campers returning in the spring.
The town has had to put rooming trails on, so that's given jobs for the town, and we've hired mechanics, salesmen. Motel business is picked up, restaurant business is picked up.
John Starling in Indian Lake also runs whitewater rafting excursions, so he knows the importance of the weather's cooperation. But there's one thing you can depend on in the Adirondacks.
We have snow when no one else has snow. So we get the early ones, especially because we're further north, we get the snow quicker. And in a drier year, we seem to always have snow.
So preparations for the season start early, readying the machines for some of the surprising people who've taken up this sport.
The people that use them are people you wouldn't expect to, you know.
Really? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, there's doctors, and some of the women are just really into it big, too, you know, and a lot of the women are into speed.
Really?
Yes.
Real lead foots.
Yes. They want the big machines.
In addition to prepping the shiny snowmobiles, there's also a lot of work to be done on the trails. Ditches will be dug alongside trails so melting snow runoff won't wash out the trail, because once the snow is packed down, they can be used well into March.
Yes, we usually go during the week. We go during the week because we end up working on the weekends.
There's another piece of maintenance needed during the off-season, clearing the trail of downed trees. And Wayne Kavanaugh of Racket Lake complains the darn trees won't fall the right way.
And most of the time they don't fall across the trail, they fall down it. So then you got to cut all the brush and drag it out. You know, it's no big deal when they fall across it.
Now back to El Nino. What kind of snowmobile season is Ski-Doo dealer Peter Samola and speculator expecting? He's seen it start as early as Thanksgiving.
Depending on whose interpretation of El Nino, I think that we'll probably have a good year. Our community has spent a lot of time and effort over the summer taking a tracked excavator, a backhoe type machine, through the trails, digging out rocks, stumps, obstructions, improving bridges to make it a more rideable trail early on. So if we get some early snow, we should have a good business.
And good business is the key, says Peter, because the Adirondack Park used to shut down after Labor Day, and the hunters and the skiers just don't have the same economic impact.
The snowmobilers are really very important to our economy, and we at the present are trying to figure out a way to be able to glean the numbers from the sales tax revenues to see exactly the impact on our community, because the more sales tax dollars return to us, then keeps our property taxes down.
There's 750 miles of snowmobile trails in Hamilton County, and it's surprising where some of those trails will take you.
Being in the Adirondack Park, we're fortunate that our trail system covers not only privately held land, usually paper company, but the ability to get onto the state land. And if you've ever been up here in the summertime, you would know that there are a lot of portions of the state land that are not open to any type of motorized vehicle, but they are open to the snowmobile in the wintertime.
On the other hand, a lot of riders like just going a short distance, very fast, or even just going in circles. The Adirondack Snowmobile Association race circuit begins January 10th in Newcomb and ends February 14th in Wells. In the Great Outdoors for Magazine 13, I'm Dave White.
If you have youngsters 10 to 16 years old who are interested in snowmobiling, they do need to take a safety course to ride solo. Classes will be offered December 7th and January 18th in the Camillus area. You can call 471-4623 for more information.
Done a lot of things, but I've never been on a snowmobile.
It is fun, although I went
Looks like
riding
it's
one
a blast.
time at night. And
bad idea.
it was great fun, and I was headed off the trail, and the person I was riding with wasn't behind me. And I waited and waited at the wolves howling in the cold, dark. Finally, I went back, and he had fallen over. The snowmobile was on top of him, and he was stuck. So you have to be careful,
There's
too.
a buddy system.
You definitely do. So.
Now, okay, this